minutes. Nick, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The minutes were sent out to you after the last meeting, and they were presented outside. So do I have a motion to approve the previous minutes as presented? All those in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Minutes passed. Moving on to old business. Do we have any old business at this time? Seeing none, we will go ahead and move into new business. As you all know, the Rally for Higher Education was yesterday, and there was a crew of 12 of us, I believe, that rode on our bus. So we left around 4:30 and we got back around 5 o'clock, and it was a really great day. So the individuals that did go are going to kind of give little blurbs about their experience and things we learned and saw. So whoever wants to speak, you may have the floor.
I'll go first.
Okay, Emily.
Okay, so I went, and one of the things that I thought was really cool was actually with like our meeting with the legislators. Senator Humphreys was like, I don't know if y'all realize it or not, but just y'all coming up here and being here means a lot. So, I mean, I guess like we have Jordan and like we have our lobbyists and stuff to go up there and talk about issues and stuff, but just the students actually going up there, I think, and like being there and telling them that we were paying attention meant a lot to the legislators and like send a message. So I thought that was cool.
Excellent. Nick?
I thought it was just cool. I went to, but I thought it was cool how me coming from Illinois, like, you know, our state capital is totally different than the Kentucky state capital. So it was just cool. It was a cool experience to go. And not only that, but kind of network and just branch out to other, I guess, regions of legislature and all that stuff. So it was cool. And I thought it was also really cool that we got a shout out at the House of Representatives thing we went to.
Oh, yeah, our committee
deal. Our representative, he gave us a shout out.
Yeah, good. Yeah, JT.
I'd say probably the neatest part to me is back home in Henderson and here as well. I'm pretty involved in politics. So the two legislators that represent my hometown were actually in the committee meeting that we got to attend. And afterwards, I went up to them and spoke, and we got a picture together, and we were standing there talking, and they just asked, they said, is there anything we can do for you? And I said, well, just make sure that you're taking care of Murray State. And that's why we're here. And they said, well, we sure will. So just having those, I think that shows the importance of just having a relationship with your legislators and the people who represent you on a policy making level, because, you know, it really does matter, and it really does make a difference.
Thank you. Anybody else that went? Andrew?
Like what JT was saying, it was sort of nice because our legislators that were that represent us, they were very adamant on that they are going to try taking care of Murray State. That's one of their biggest priorities is take care of Murray State, and that they're going to do that. They said, you know, with some of the legislation that was, especially on performance-based, we would actually be getting more than others just because we do perform very well. So I guess as Murray State, we should just put that up.
Absolutely. Elizabeth, do you want to add anything?
Just kind of what everyone else said. Also, I thought the speeches, like being able to hear how students felt about everything at the very beginning, just on the steps, was a great experience. Because everyone has a different story, and everyone is rallying for higher education for a different reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And JT represented us very well.
He did. I did video it. I did. I'll put it on the Facebook. So claps for JT. Yes. He represented us very well. Very proud.
I was impressed when we went to Chick-fil-A that one of the waiters came over and told us that his brother was going to school at Murray State. Yes, this is for Murray State. And we said yes, and he said his brother was going to Murray State. He was looking at UK and Murray State, but he really liked Murray State.
Yeah.
So that's neat that people in Frankfurt that aren't in school know about us.
Yeah. I personally had a really great day. And if anything, if I gained anything out of the experience, it was even just being able to build stronger relationships with you all, so the senators that went, because so often we're just here on Wednesdays at 4:30, and I don't get to interact with you as much as I'd like to, because I'm just a person too, and I want to be your friend. So it was nice just to be able to build that relationship with you all and kind of talk about the futures of SGA and things like that in that element, but to also be able to advocate for what I believe in. I'm obviously really passionate about higher education. That's why I'm sitting in front of you today. It's because I love this university so much. It's been so good to me. So I had a great day, and I really think we made a positive impact. I think it said a lot on behalf of Murray State that we had the individuals there that we did. There's other schools that are much closer. So, UK is like 20 minutes, and meanwhile we are 4 hours away with a time difference, and so we left very early, and I think it showed a lot about Murray State University, especially to the other schools there. When I said that we left at 4:30, everybody clapped for us from the other schools, and I was like, that's right, we are here. So it was a really great day, and thank you to Charlie for bringing us food. He got up no telling how early and brought us breakfast before we got on the bus, and so we owe him a round of applause too. Okay, well, moving on from that, do we have any other new business at this time? Yes?
I'll go ahead and give my experience yesterday, too.
Yeah, of course.
I think as Tori said, if we wouldn't be in SGA if we didn't care about Murray State to some degree, and more than just being here. And just because you didn't go yesterday or because you're in class or didn't have the opportunity, I don't think that stops you from advocating for Murray State. So I would just kind of encourage everyone to message your legislators, do your legislation, and do your research, and kind of take that time out to speak on behalf of Murray State as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Ditto that. I recently went to a meeting with the Council on Post-Secondary Education, and the president, his name is Bob, he encouraged all of us to encourage you to go home and meet with your representatives. So they have their offices back home, and they have more time when they're not up at the Capitol. So their time is so limited when they're at the Capitol. So it's not just about one day of rallying for higher ed. It's about setting up those meetings and going back home. Take your parents with you. They like that. So try to set up that meeting and talk to them. Tell them how much you love Murray State. And one thing you talked about is that representatives, if they're good at anything, they're good at counting. So that means that when people come to them with issues, they keep track of this many people talk to me about this issue, and I can say that when I'm bringing up this point at the Capitol. So if we have more people going and saying that you need to have better funds higher ed, they know that, and they're keeping track of the things that matter outside of the Capitol as well whenever they're having visitors come to their offices. So if you need help with that, if you're interested in that, let me know, and reach out to your parents as well. Go with them and talk about your experience at Murray State. Just tell them how much you love Murray, if anything. You don't have to get super political, but just talk about your experience as a student, and that should be easy for all of us. So great point, Erin.
And to add on to that, I think it's important to think about how like the senators and representatives from like here in Murray, obviously they have a reason to advocate on behalf of Murray State because they have a lot at stake, and because like it has all of these students there in their constituency, it employs a lot of people here. But if you go home to like where there's not a university there, and talk to your legislators there, that's going to give even more support for Murray State. Whereas if we didn't, only the legislators who have stake in the universities are going to realize what's at risk. So it's about like spreading the message to other people too.
Absolutely. Really good stuff. Man, I love higher ed. Is there any other new business at this time? Nick?
So I just kind of had a thought, during that committee meeting, Jeannie and I were sitting next to each other, and we were thinking of ways to kind of help raise money for Murray State. And so one thing that I guess we had talked about was, we have to pay parking for our cars, like parking placards. but bikes really don't have anything like that. So maybe another source of revenue would be like a sticker or something that you had to get for your bike in order to keep your bike on campus.
Super
And
interesting.
we were thinking even something like $10 for a sticker, just for like even the whole year, just a semester or something similar to that would raise, I mean, you figure, I don't know how many bikes are on campus, probably a considerable amount.
Mhm.
If it wouldn't raise enough to maybe cover like an entire program or something, but it would raise enough to help out.
Make an impact.
So like, anything else. So I didn't know if there were like any incentives that I could input into that before I started like actually researching and putting more work and effort into it. I didn't know if you had any thoughts, concerns.
So would they get ticketed if they didn't have the sticker on their bike? Is that the theory?
Yeah, the theory is that it would be like, kind of like how the city stickers were with our cars, with the city of Murray. So like, but with the bikes or like our parking passes, so like you have to have your sticker in order to use it on campus.
You gotta walk around and check the lines.
Well, they walk around and check cars.
We can check. So we have basically do that, so just tell them it's what we got.
I think they could just do that as part of their job.
And they say it's part of their job, and they walk around parking lots.
And most of them have a cart.
You say most of them have, the bike parking stuff next to the parking lots too, so. Just a thought.
Yeah. No, I think that's how you make changes. It starts with a simple conversation.
If they want to research that, a good place to start would be the parking lot.
Yeah.
See how they would go about doing certain things. You could also check to see if there's similar things in other universities.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I think if you ever have any idea, feel free to bring it up in this space because conversations and getting input is where things really start. So, yeah, absolutely. Good thought. Any other new business? Yes.
Is there a policy-wide, is there a campus-wide policy about emotional support animals being in classes? I have several in my classes, and I know that I'm pretty sure they aren't supposed to be in there, but no one seems to be saying anything, but some animals were really like hostile towards each other today in my class. And I talked to my professor and my department head about it, and they weren't sure. So would you guys?
Yeah, there is a policy, and the service animals are different than emotional support animals. The service animal can be in public areas. Emotional support animals can only be in private locations like in residence halls. So, Student Disability Service Office tries to monitor that. And so if there are individuals that you receive reports, if there's individuals that you think it's an emotional support animal that's, and even if it's a service animal, it cannot be disruptive to a class. So, yeah, that is something we're working on. It's a bit challenging, but yeah, we just make us aware of it. But there is a policy, emotional support animals are different than service animals.
So are we as students able to report that if an occurrence like what Katie had today
I would
happened?
think go to the Student Disability Service Office because service animals and emotional support animals would be registered on campus. Particularly, well, they would be registered if they're living on campus, and service animals because they could go easily. So I would start with Velvet Wilson and Disability Services.
Thank you. Any other new business? Yeah, Katie.
Also, admitted student open house was awesome last night. So many people are interested in student government. My student government in high school was not awesome. So I was so surprised to see so many high schoolers just so hyper and excited to get involved in college. It was really, really good.
That's awesome. That makes me feel good.
So we closed the place down last night.
We're the last ones there.
Any other new business? Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and move into our branch reports. Becca.
All right, guys. We have a Qdoba rebate night, February 7th from 4 to 10. we have a Dawn Soul Rebate Night on February 15th. On February 16th, we have a group leaving for our regional business conference to just go and meet with other executive boards of residential college associations from across our region, just to learn how to better lead across campus. Cash Cart, the date is going to be moved to March 3rd, just to try to get it into a little bit warmer weather. Try to avoid some of this cold and rainy weather that we've kind of been having off and on. Try to get it to a better timing. The lock-in that I mentioned that we were working on dining services with, it's going to be on March 2nd, I believe is the date we've set for that. I'll have more details about what's actually going to be there coming up fairly shortly, but there should be some like game systems set up, minute-to-minute type of games. There should be refreshments set up in Winslow. It'll be a pretty big event. Hopefully you guys can come out and support your residential college. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, activity ideas? Yes.
So for the lock-in, would it be like you swipe it or would it just be free like the?
Free, anyone comes, anyone goes. Any other questions? All right. That's all I got.
Cool. Moving into officer reports. Rachel.
I have really no report other than if you have any questions about my position for next year, just let me know.
Very good. Bailey.
Don't forget to do office hours this week. Admitted student open house. Thank you all for a big help, especially Corey who set up and got the stuff from the office and everything. That was really big help. Other than that, that's all.
Okay. And then do you have Madison's report?
Yeah. Madison said street signs were today and they went great. Thanks to Joe and everybody else who helped out and assisted for that. And then he just had a little bit about the trip to Frankfurt. He really liked it. It was productive and informative, and thanks to everybody who traveled.
Very good. Awesome. Moving on to my report. I know that we already talked about the rally, but I really just want to encourage you all in the future to attend if you weren't able to attend yesterday. We have one every single year. It's coordinated by the Board of Student Body Presidents who puts in a lot of work and effort to try to get it all together. So I encourage you to go in the future because it truly was an incredible experience for all of us. We got to meet with Representative Imes and Senator Humphreys. We attended a committee meeting that was actually about transportation, but it was still a good experience because we got to see how does our state government work. And so that was cool for us. And just to be in that building and see what it's like on that level, it is definitely a good experience, I think, for any person, especially just to be able to advocate for something that you believe in is an incredible opportunity. So thanks again for that. And for those that did go, so we recently got these in. We got like these things you put on your phone and they say SGA. So if you want one and you went to the rally or you helped with the Minister Open House, come and get one for me afterwards. I'm super pumped because I think they're really cool. And they say SGA, Emory State University. Go us. So yeah, I have those up here as well. So just thanks for all the work that you do. Just know that I appreciate you a lot. Other things is that if you are interested still in buying an SGA polo, let us know today after the meeting. They're about $28 and I have mine on today. This is what it looks like. It's a polo. Yes.
Whenever I got mine, it was not $20.
How much was it?
It was like $40.
Oh, okay. That seems incorrect. I'm so sorry. So it might be about.
I'll look into it.
Okay. Well, it's just, I went up there and
Thank you.
I had like $30 in my hand and they were like, oh yeah, it's 48 something. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm so sorry. Well,
I will look into it.
we will look into it. Thank you. I'll keep in contact. If you would still like one, let me know because they look great. And the meeting next week, please wear your SGA shirts. We're going to have an SGA shirt meeting next Wednesday. So wear your SGA shirt. Yeah.
What if we still haven't done it yet?
Then come to the CSI office and pick one up. You all get a shirt. Free shirts for everyone, but not the polos. Other thing, someone left their gloves on the bus yesterday. If these are yours, let me know. They're up here. Wow, talk about housekeeping. So last thing, elections are coming up soon. It feels like it shouldn't be here yet, but it is. So to file for a position, it's due by February 26th at noon in the Center for Student Involvement. Please turn your paperwork in so that you can be put on the ballot. Something different this year is that all residential college senators are being elected the same way that are at large and college senators are. So everyone is kind of on that same ballot. So that's something to keep in mind as well, and that voting is done online. If you are applying, there's a candidates meeting that same day at 4 o'clock in the Curris Center Theater. You must attend that if you are running for a position or you need to send a proxy. Yes.
So residential college senators will no longer be going through RCC except for it'll be the same as all of businesses.
Correct. You'll be elected by the student body. Yes, ma'am.
Why?
This was something that was done by the past administration, but essentially it was so that we would have basically an easier way of having people on SGA, if that makes sense. So when it comes to like us filling vacancies, if there is a position that is residential college, it's only through the outlet of the residential college. And so it was hard for us to essentially maintain who it was. And we had a lot of retention issues. There was a lot of turnover. This year has been particularly well, actually. The year that I was in Bailey's position, there was a lot of turnover, and it was hard for us to even keep track who was on SGA because it wasn't coming through us. It was going through different entities. But essentially, it's about representing every single student on this campus, and we're still able to do that through that outlet. I think there's advantages and disadvantages to that process because you want to make sure that that person is being able to fulfill those additional duties of reporting back to their RCC and things like that, because it's even a different relationship than what a college business senator would be. But I think it'll just make it an easier process, and I think it's more fair in the fact that students are able to elect that individual just in that kind of democratic system. Yes, Katie?
When you go to elect them, is it only you're only voting for your residential college?
Correct. Okay. Just like if I'm I'm a college business student, so I can only vote for my College of Business senators.
So does the election, like you have to choose what you're a part of, or does it already know through your?
It already knows through your MyGate.
Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions about that? I know it was something that was discussed a little more heavily last year, but we haven't talked about it in a while. So, yeah. But that's kind of how that process will work. And once again, that'll be on February 26th at noon. So please tell other people yes.
So that is for colleges, is that also for residential colleges as well?
Correct. Yes, that paper would do. Yeah. If you are interested in my position or any of the exec positions, or you just want to talk to me, please reach out. I would love to talk to you about your future in SGA. If you have anyone that's interested that maybe isn't familiar, have them come and talk to me. I'd love to talk to them. Hopefully you all have my contact information. If you don't, I can give you my card or you can look it up on the internet, but please reach out to me because I'm passionate about this. So if you're interested, let me know. I'd love to talk to you. Any questions for me today? Cool beans. Let's move on into director reports. Caleb.
Yeah, I don't really have a report today, but thank you everybody who went and participated at the rally, and my committee, we will have a meeting next week.
Aaron? Okay. Is there any university committee reports if you serve on a university committee? We'll go ahead and move into our guest reports. Dr. Pfister?
Dr. Davies is on his way to Frankfurt again. He gives a presentation for the House Budget Review Subcommittee tomorrow, so if we can all be thinking positive thoughts about that, it would be much appreciated. He's got his presentation done and he's ready to roll. So that's all good. The Kindness Project, I just want to remind you, on February 21st, I was working with the Career Services Closet. So if you have nicely dress clothes that you want to donate for other persons to be able to use, please bring that to the Rocking Chair Lounge from 10 until 1, and ask people in the community as well. That'll go out on Racer Nation, and Faculty Senate, Staff Congress, and all of those also are providing that. So it's the opportunity. Does everybody know what the Career Closet is? Okay. If you don't, ask me about it later. But I just found out that of the clothes that were donated over the last 6 months, half of them are already gone. So students are in need of those. So I think this will be a great effort. So if you have some you want to donate, please do so. Thanks. Any questions for me? Terrific.
Thank you. Dr. Robertson.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for going to Frankfurt for your representation. That is very meaningful, as you've heard from many of the students. They expect to hear it from us. When you go and voice those concerns, that really have a great role in that. So if you've heard from the others, do not underestimate the influence you can have. And so it's very, very important. So thank you. I know it's not easy. Many of us would like to have gone, but classes and other things prohibited that. Mine being one of them. I guess. Like the presentation class. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. Dining.
Yes, we have some coming up events, so just want to get you guys informed on. I have a list up here for February, and the Olympic Winter Games. We have an opening party this Friday, Mardi Gras Tuesday the 13th, and we have a Valentine's Day at Winslow. It's an RSVP, so limited spots available. You can RSVP online at our website or at Winslow. You can sign up for that. And then the Chinese.
What time is the Winter Olympic Game opening party?
It's gonna be at dinner time.
Dinner.
It starts at 7.
Okay.
That's when the opening starts. The Chinese New Year early bird t-shirt giveaway for that, so show up early at 4. And we also have the Black History celebration on Tuesday, February 20th, and that'll be dinner time at 4 o'clock. And then just some future events, guys. ISO dinner Wednesday, March 14th, and then Hot Wings Challenge Wednesday, March 28th. Really fun. Easter brunch, not April Fools, guys. So, and then end of year picnic. It will be April the 23rd, and that'll be from 3 to 7. And then we have an Iron Chef competition. It'll be really fun. We're getting like housing on that, so we'll have a lot of team effort and stuff like that. So, and then our next thing is Raise Your Care packages. Show some love, guys. We've got red roses for you guys, carnations, Valentine's bundles with stuffed animals. They're really cute. Trust me. And some cupcakes and customized stuff that we can do for you guys. Any questions for us?
Anything for dining? Yes.
So I know you guys said you're kind of like pausing on the Heart Cafe. No one, like, you guys can start that back up. Or like, or I know whenever you gave your report like 2 weeks ago, you said like, I want to know what students want. So like, I've been contacting people in Richmond, like to see what they wanted out of it and whatnot. So.
Sure. So a comment about the Heart Cafe. The Heart Cafe was closed, as you know, I guess over the summer, I guess probably the best way to word it. And you know, it's a critical space, and there's a lot of thoughts about how that space can be best utilized to meet everybody's needs. There's no definitive on that at this point in time. You know, there's different thoughts and different ways that we can do that, and we're still working through some options. So we don't have an answer for you yet, but we'll make sure we bring that to you as soon as the decision is made. Awesome. Thank you.
Katie?
Do you know if there's going to be any work done on the mud hole area that is to the left of New Franklin and to the right of Old Richmond? It's out there in front. It's kind of like a gap in the sidewalk, very large, probably 4x4.
Yeah, that is really, what we need to do is turn that into facilities management. So, yeah, I'll see you afterwards. You just get that.
Anything else for dining?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I have something. Someone mentioned to me that they would really like to see Halo Top ice cream in Fast Track, so it's like I'll send the word.
You want to see what?
Halo Top ice cream. It's like a fancy, expensive, healthy ice cream. I don't know if you guys like Halo Top. Are you guys into that? Do you know if people? Do you think people would like that? Lots of head nods. So
There's like 5 or 6 in my freezer.
I just said I would mention it.
We'll look into it and have a report back to you next week.
Okay, thanks. Anything else for dining? Okay, moving on. Christian Barnes.
Yes, I am. Pull up something. So we've talked about it a few times over the past couple of weeks as far as awards and things that we would really like for you all to nominate some individuals on campus. And Tori brought this up to me and I thought it was a great idea just to show you guys how easy it is to pull up those nomination forms online. So as always, with anything Murray State, go to murraystate.edu. And I always say the quickest way to get to anything is just to go to the search bar, click that little magnifying glass, and just type in Student Government Association. Of course, all these little links pop up. Just click on the top link that you see. It takes you to a different page. And if you all haven't ever visited the website, it's very pretty. Tori and I work very, very hard to make sure this stays updated and to that this keeps looking good. So if you go down over here to the navigation sidebar over to Annual SGA Awards, click on that. And then, so to submit an application for the awards, you just click on the little graphics below that we have here on the website. So we have the Ralph H. Woods, again, that is for a student who has made significant contributions to campus. So, and then the Max Carmen is the Outstanding Teacher Award, and then the Jim Bauer Staff Service. So if you wanted to nominate a faculty member, a staff member, or student, you just click on, say you want to nominate a student on campus, you click on that picture, and then the application pulls up as a Word document for you to complete. You can either submit that through email or bring that into the office once it opens, and this is what it looks like. Same thing goes for, since we have didn't know if you all know, trivia fact, we have over 170 student organizations on campus that are all active and that do various things here on campus. So if you go over, the easiest way is just click on student organizations in the navigation bar up top. We really, really like to celebrate what our student organizations do on campus as far as services they provide on campus, as well as just the aspect of involvement that they provide on campus. And so we host a award banquet every year. It's in April. And so as part of that banquet, we do student leadership awards. We have 8 awards that we do each year. Again, just like the SGA awards, you just go down and you click on the little graphics here. You click on those. So we have a rising racer, which is usually a freshman or sophomore, that have made contributions to campus. We have a Graduate Student Leadership Award, Outstanding Community Service Project, Outstanding New Student Organization, Racer Hero, Student Org of the Year, Student Organization President of the Year, and then as always, we have our Vice President of Student Affairs Top 10 Leaders. And those are for students who are either a December 17 or May 2018 graduate. So you just click on those graphics, it pulls up the Word document, and then you fill those out. Typically, as our awards, we would prefer that you would submit them through the student organization email because these are sent, we picked 3 individuals on campus that are not affiliated with the organization on campus that judge these awards. And so it's easier if you submit them electronically because we put them on a flash drive, and then those individuals use the flash drive to look at those nomination forms, resumes, recommendation letters. And so a lot of these awards require recommendation letters. We ask that you submit, if you have 1 recommendation letter, submit 3 copies of that. Submit 3 copies of each document you submit, because we'll have 3 judges and each judge needs to have a copy of each recommendation that you send. We'll also need you to fill out a grade authorization form that allows us to pull up your grades here on campus. Our director here in the Career Center does that. And for one more thing, as part of our new student organization of the year or student organization of the year, we ask that you complete an organizational portfolio. And what this does is just a comprehensive guide on what the organization does, its members, what you've contributed through campus. So it walks you through all of that. So that, and then also speaking of Valentine's Day for dining, also on February 14th next week, SGA, we are doing through Campus Activities Board, we're doing Stuff a Bear, where we have little bitty dunkers, and then we also have bears with hearts on them that you can stuff for your significant other. So come by the Rocking Chair Lounge. We'll be happy to give you a bear, give you a dunker, and let you stuff it and take it home. So,
yay.
Any questions for me? Okay, and then on those graphics, of course, there is a due date as well, so that lets you know. Okay.
Thank you. Miss Jeannie?
I think Christian has covered just about everything. But if anyone has any questions, come back to the office and we'll answer them for you and help you fill out the forms if you have any questions on how to fill them out. I would like to say that Murray State's playing Austin Peay tomorrow night, and at 3 o'clock the women's flag, and at 6 o'clock the men's flag. And right now we are in 2nd place all by ourselves, and Austin Peay is in 3rd place, and we really need to beat them. So they really need your support. So please support athletics tomorrow.
Watch people.
Yes.
Other announcements, we also have pet therapy next Wednesday in Alexander Hall. And then you see the vacancies that are listed below. I'm really excited about Stuff a Bear, like really excited. You can just get one for yourself. It doesn't have to be your significant other if you want. And you get a birth certificate, which is so cute. Any other announcements? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn? All those in favor of adjournment, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? We are adjourned. Thanks for a great meeting, you all. JT, do you want one? It's a thing for your phone.
I'm okay, thank you. I was going to talk to him about it, but he's not here. Do you guys like give him a message or like? I was going to talk to him about maybe getting the parking lot by Richmond, which is all yellow, transition to kind of how the lots next to it are, like every other lot around the Iron Fields and around that area. On the other side of that street is yellow/red, or like yellow, green, red.
The one's like behind Richmond by the Iron Fields. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Like because on one side, like that little tiny rectangle lot is like yellow, green, red, and I think blue or something. Like there's all of them. And then the one across from that is yellow, red, commuter, and residential. And then the biggest one that has the most parking for even like IM games, anything, is just yellow still, and it's completely empty always. And I got like 2 tickets from parking there on Saturday. I've been there like on Saturday mornings, where I've been like one car in like a 50-yard radius from me, and I've got tickets for it. I don't know why we have to keep. I just didn't know if we could.
Care to actually? Do you want me to give you his phone number?
Sure.
Because you'll be able to communicate it better than I am.
Yeah. I was gonna ask him like what kind of process we do. But
So this is having on Saturday?
yeah, I got a ticket like Saturday at 7 in the morning for being in the yellows. And like yellow zones, I thought you could park.
Yeah.
You could park in blue, you could park anywhere. Purple zone,
Yeah.
you could go to yellows. And I have a red tag. And I got ticketed at 7 in the
Yeah, I
morning
got
on
ticketed.
Saturday.
It was like Saturday night, like 7 last year.
Like, I don't know. I want to kind of dispute it or whatever, and appeal
Yeah.
it. But I mean, if anything, I want to like change it because I mean, we're not using that parking lot at all, and every
Right,
other
then
parking
that's
lot.
an issue.
Like for IM games, I've always parked in that lot next to the tennis courts on the other side because it's always empty. So I mean, if we could fix that,
I'm trying to imagine exactly where this is.
Yeah.
it's
I'm
like the
super
big one,
visual.
like you know where that fence cuts off.
Are
at
you talking?
Richmond?
Yeah,
The
you're talking
big-
about
the
like
big yellow.
close to the tennis court.
Yeah, like between the
That
outside
one?
and the tennis courts. Yeah. Like just the biggest, emptiest one far away.
Somebody steals.
Yeah, you just notice that it's empty.
It's registered.
Okay.
But I don't
I
think.
don't know if he has anything
Right.
to say on what might
I'm
be
just
changed,
thinking of
but
like, okay,
I
I'm
figured
thinking
instead
of
of just
a
like
way.
fighting for the
Oh, I got 10 minutes.
ticket, we might as well talk to him about, see what we can do with it.
It's a good point too, with like the whole.
Yeah, thank you for that. I really would tell him, but I would mess it up. So
Yeah, no, I got it.
thank you. Hey, Heaven. Do you want one?
You did. I also need to get the SG t-shirt.
Oh, I.
Okay. If you'll walk down with me to the CSI office, we'll get you one.
I'm so excited. You'll love it.
I love it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody. No one else.
Oh, yes. Aren't they so cool?
I will
Mine's
so
like